Hi guys, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is doing well. So in today's video, I have lots of information on several different topics. So these are the 4 things that I'm going to go over. First, I'm going to go over what I discovered today about my 6 Series claim that was denied that I posted in yesterday's video, which was the front passenger side rim that was really badly curb rashed all around, and it was clearly far more damaged, like 99% more damage than the pre-trip photos versus the post-trip photos, and Turo entirely denied the claim. And then second, I got the resolution to my Jeep claim, which I will show you guys what happened and what the resolution was. Third, I'm going to go over a new program that has gone live, which provides assistance from the stimulus package to people like us, independent contractors or self-employed people. And then finally, I'm going to go over some new insurance options actually that Turo just released and that I got an email for yesterday. So let's jump right into it. I heard back from my claims agent today on my 6 Series rim because my last message to him was, in the past, if there was any prior damage to my rims, you guys would usually just deduct that and pay out the remainder of the amount. So I was under the impression that that would be the case, especially considering there was such a stark difference between how I gave the renter the car and how the car came back. He responded with a link to their website that explains that they in fact do not cover damage like this, and this is something that is more recent change in their claim. So I actually wanted to read it to you guys because it's probably really important to know as host, and I'm gonna post a link down in my description. So let's jump right into it. It's about 2 paragraphs. Damage assessment. Prior damage and any damage to a vehicle that existed before the start of a guest trip. That's how they define it. We'll take a close look at any and all prior damage in order to determine what costs are related to the new damage versus prior. We rely heavily on pre and post trip photos in making our assessment. It's essential that you take and upload these pictures to your trip photos and so on. Then it says payment. If we discover that the vehicle had prior damage, we'll make 2 calculations. We'll estimate 1, the cost to repair the prior damage, and 2, the cost to repair the new damage. We'll pay the host the difference between these 2. Okay, so you would think that that would apply to the curb rash incident that I had. This ensures that the host is paid for costs related to the damages that occurred during a trip. It's also fair to the guests, ensuring that they only pay the cost of the damage they caused. And then they give an example, and the example really cracked me up. Example number 1 is for a claim that does get paid. Before a guest trip, a vehicle has prior damage to the bumper. Repairing and refinishing the prior damage would have taken 2 hours of work. During the trip, the bumper receives new damage. Due to the new damage, the time to repair this bumper increases from 2 to 5 hours. The host would be paid for 3 hours of repair time. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now example number 2, a claim that does not get paid. An aluminum wheel has scrapes prior to a trip. The cost to repair the prior damage is $125. During a trip, new scrapes are added to the wheel. The cost to repair the damage in total is estimated still at $125. The new damage doesn't increase the repair cost from what already existed, so no claim would be paid. And there you have it, folks, in black and white. That is why they evaluated my 6 Series rim the way that they did. I don't agree with it, and it's funny because it kind of contradicts itself, that if there is prior damage, then they deduct the cost of repairing that prior damage to the post damage, but it doesn't apply for rims. So I actually don't know, and maybe if some of you guys out there know, my 6 Series is actually already at the repair shop. I'm actually gonna ask my wheel guy, and my wheel guy is for sure a really credible source. He is actually the largest service provider for all the dealerships in this area, for BMW, for Mercedes-Benz, Chevy. Their shop is the one that does anything wheel related, so they're really good at what they do. And I'm gonna show him the pre-trip photos and the post-trip photos and ask him if that is in fact the case, if it would be $125 to fix a chip that was not even that big, like that big, versus fixing an entire rim that was scraped to hell and the metal is showing and the metal is shaved up. So we'll find out. I'll keep you guys posted on that. But unanimously in the last video in the comment section, you guys all voiced your opinion that it should have definitely have been covered. I know somebody mentioned that in the if you go through a fair claims arbitration, that something like this would be covered. I'm not entirely sure, so let's see what happens. So that's kind of the wrap on that. Pretty disappointing. And my only thing with this issue is, okay, fine, the rim had some prior damage. Rim, not a big deal, but what else does this apply to? That's the thing. That's such a gray area. We don't really know what else this applies to. What else is considered similar to rims where they have this type of policy? I'm really not too sure. So if anyone out there knows, definitely chime in, comment down below, and share that information with the community, because I personally have no idea. Okay, moving on to the Jeep claim. Let me just get up really quick. I posted, I think it was last week, that this baby unfortunately went off-roading, which, you know, I was really surprised because this is the first time in almost about 5 years of having a Jeep that I've had a Jeep come back damaged from somebody going off-roading. So I guess if you look at the odds, that's really not that bad. But basically, the Jeep came back with brush marks, meaning it was scraped all the way from back here, starting at this tail light, to the front headlight on the left side. So I got the resolution for the claim today from Turo, and they paid out about $1,900 and some change to get that repaired. Now I still have to take it into the shop and really figure out what the cost is going to be, but that was the initial estimate. And if it's anything more than that, then as always, I'll go ahead and file that supplement, have my shop do it, and then they'll take care of the remainder balance. That is one thing that I can say is that in the years of doing this, I've never really had any issues in terms of filing supplements and getting the remainder balance paid. So that overall has been a good experience. So that is how things got wrapped up for the Jeep in terms of the claim. Okay, moving on to the next topic on hand. A part of the stimulus package that was passed was a program. I don't know if this is what it's called in every state, but I do know that this is what it's called here in California. It's called Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, and that actually went live today to begin accepting applications. And it is specifically for people who are like 1099. So if you're an independent contractor, you're self-employed, and you've been affected by the pandemic that has gone on, you can actually apply for that program, because this is actually federal support, and it's being supplemented, or it's being pushed out through the state, rather, I should say. So you can actually go on and apply for this, and all the information is on there. And again, I'm not too sure about other states, but I do know that here in California, this is April 28th, this program did go online, and once again, it's called Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. And I believe it's like they take X amount based on what you were making for 2019 per week or bi-weekly, and then the federal support that gets added onto that is $600. So if you are somebody who is in need of that support, you definitely want to go and apply and get your applications in early. If we learn anything from the SBA assistance, the PPP program, you need to get your applications in a timely manner, because there are so many people that are looking for support. Now, if any of you applied for the SBA assistance, I believe it was the EIDL, the disaster loan program, by now, in terms of the people that I know within my circle, mostly everybody has received their funds. I got my funds about 2 weeks ago, and I did apply rather early on when that program opened up, and then I knew people who applied later on, and they actually got their funds this week. And also, I know a lot of people who are getting their stimulus check money this week as well. So looks like the assistance is on its way and it's rolling out slowly, but any of these programs that are available and you qualify for, you definitely just want to apply in and see if you can get some assistance. So once again, that was the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. You can find that information on your state's unemployment website, and there should be a whole section. I know there is for California. Just Google it. It's like eddcalifornia.gov or something like that, and you'll see it on the homepage. It's a real simple application and shouldn't take you very much time, just like the SBA one was. And I do know that SBA is no longer taking any more application because they got such a flood of applications. All right, and finally moving on to the last topic that I came across yesterday, I believe it was. I got an email from Turo saying that they finally have a new plan of insurance for people like us, hosts, who have trouble insuring their cars for personal use because they are also on the Turo platform. And this has been an age-old question and such a gray area for everyone. And most people, including myself, we have personal coverage and we just don't let the two ever cross over. Anything related to Turo, any Turo damage, just like this Jeep claim and the 6 Series claim, you either resolve directly with your guest or you go through the Turo system. It should never touch your personal insurance, and therefore it should never red flag you. So that's currently how most people are set up. I got an email saying that Liberty Mutual is now going to be offering a program for hosts to supply insurance for us for personal use, and it'll account for when your car is out on a rental and should hopefully be a more cost-effective solution. If you did receive that email, because right now it's only being tested in California, there was a phone number. Call that phone number. If the person on the other end doesn't know what you're talking about, which is what happened to me, just leave your information and explain the email that you got. That person did eventually get my information over to the agent who is in charge of this program. I got an email from the agent today. He'll send you 2 spreadsheets to fill out all the vehicle information. You'll submit that back to them and then wait for a quote. So I'm currently waiting for a quote, and I would love to see if it's more cost effective than the insurance solution that I have right now. So you guys can bet that I will definitely keep you guys posted on the results of that insurance option. And I hope that it is a good solution for us hosts, because this is one that has been long awaited, and it's been a huge gray area, and hopefully this is a better way of doing things. I know this has been in the works for a couple years, so I was really actually surprised and excited to see that. And now let's keep our fingers crossed that it is actually more cost effective to go down that route. So I hope to have an answer for you guys within the next couple of days. And on that note, that is a wrap on sort of all the little different things that were going on for me today. Hopefully you guys find all this helpful. And again, definitely comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any more information on this wheel damage business. And, you know, we're just trying to navigate what to expect with Turo. It seems like things continue to change. And as hosts, we often get blindsided by some of these changes because there isn't transparent communication. And that really has been an issue for a long time. Not, of course, not in every aspect, but especially when it comes to claims and insurance. I feel like that's always been an ongoing problem. So let's see what happens. Let's see how things pan out. And on Friday, I will be having my interview with John Safaric, who was the author of The Wealthy Gardener, and he built his wealth through rentals. So I'm definitely going to be asking questions that will help all of us in this community, all of us who are trying to make a living by engaging in marketplaces such as Turo, or trying to build rental income, whether that's in houses or cars or whatever it might be. So I think that no matter who you are or what you do, this interview is going to be incredibly insightful for all of us, and especially navigating ourselves and our businesses through this crazy pandemic crisis that we're in right now, and just how the landscape of everything is changing as we know it. So That should be super insightful and really informative, so really excited for that. A lot of you guys sent me your questions that you wanted me to ask him, so I've made a note of all of those and will definitely do my best to ask as many as I can. And if you have any questions, send them down below and I will add them to the list. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Saimah, this is Saimah's Experience, and if you like this channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified when my videos are posted and be the first to watch. All right, guys, I love you all. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and we'll talk soon.